Coombs, Inc., 4C Land and Auction, LLC, Rogers and Associates Insurance, Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ron Juneman at Family Eye Care, Amber Wave, American Family Insurance, Farmers National Bank, Phillips County Health Systems, Blossoms and Butterflies, Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, Trinity Ag LLC. And now, here's Tad Feltz.
And good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for Thursday morning. I missed you the last couple of Thursdays. I was out of town on both of those occasions. It was a holiday. Great show last week with all the athletes who had been in Phillipsburg and from the area came back, and it was just an outstanding special Tadpoll last week. I would like to have been here, but I was on my way back from the Liberty Bowl, and I'll talk about that later with Tam Kemper. She was a little further south than that. She was down in New Orleans. I'm saying it right now, New Orleans. Not New Orleans, as they say, like Nolans. Anyway, so I'm saying that right. And so we'll have Tam on later on. We'll talk about both of those bowl games. It didn't come out very good in each one of them, but it was a good experience. I might mention my guest this morning, Jacob Cobb. We'll talk about quails forever. Jacob, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Danielle Bohl on the Phillips County Health Systems. I think we're going to talk about Walk with Docs. And then Tam and myself will be talking about sharing some things that happened in Memphis and in New Orleans. Before we get to that, I also want to bring up, yesterday we had that special vote in a special election in Phillips County. This was for the PCED, Phillips County Economic Development. A yes vote meant that the PCED would continue, but the funding would come from the property tax, and the no vote meant it would remain the way it was as a 0.5% sales tax. Well, the vote yesterday, overwhelmingly 87% said no. It was 139 yeses voting at the Huck Boyd and 958 no, so that means that the PCED will be continuing to be funded by the 0.5% sales tax that everyone pays when you spend money in Phillips County. So big 87% in favor of keeping it the way it was. Okay, let's talk about one of my, they have pheasant forever.
Yes, sir.
Turkeys, and also quail forever banquet. That's coming up Route 36. We've had people on the fort talk about this. When is it? And you might, Jacob, just kind of fill us in a little what's going to be happening.
So this year, our Route 36 Quail Forever Banquet is here in Phillipsburg. Okay. So this is the year we're in Phillipsburg, since we switch every year between Phillipsburg and Smith Center. It is January 28th. We did start it. We are going to start it a little sooner because we've always had a complaint in the past. It goes too long.
Sure.
So the happy hour starts at, or social hour starts at 4:30 with dinner at 6:30. And live auction starts at 7:30. So
those are always favorite things. Live auction, love the live auction. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets some. Two people wants the same thing.
No, always.
That's what it's good news for the quail forever, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is our biggest source of income when it comes to chapters and stuff. And with this, we are able, like for example, this year we gave out over $3,000 towards landowners for quail habitat. I mean, it's not just for quail; it's deer. It's everything. So this is by far our biggest thing. This weekend we've got a soldier hunt. We help. We have soldiers coming in from Fort Riley and Fort Leavenworth.
Okay. Wow.
We take them out deer hunting, pay for some meals and stuff like that.
Sure.
Our youth hunt this year was big. Again, all of this gets supported through our banquet.
Sure. Okay, now has the drought been? How's it been? You're talking about habitat and so on.
Yeah, the drought.
Has that been a problem? Obviously,
it has hurt the quail and pheasant population pretty good. But I mean, they're pretty resilient out here. Yeah. So I went out. I've been out a few times so far this year, and I've seen birds, which to me is fantastic to see birds.
Is it still being destroyed, or is it coming back pretty? Is cover coming back?
It's coming all right. I think one of the biggest things that helped out is they changed the amount of CRP, the CRP program. They greatly expanded how much CRP.
Sure.
And that comes from federal government.
Sure.
So I think farmers are taking and landowners are taking heed.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what's all going to be happening.
All right. So once again this year we are still doing our platinum sponsorships as well as our just normal sponsorships. Our platinum sponsorships, it's a round table of 8. It costs $800, but like I said, 8 people, you have more room, which is always a premium at our banquets. You get $200 in quail bucks. There's a special gun you're up for, which is a Benelli Super Black Eagle 12 gauge. Those are about a $1,600, $1,700 gun.
Okay.
So that is one thing this year for our banquet we greatly increased. We went, I think we've got 17 grand so far in 2 guns alone. So you'll be entered into that. You'll get your own personalized Quail Forever etched mug for each person, as well as recognition, first opportunity to get meals. So that's that sponsorship.
That's the platinum.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we got our $250 sponsorship, which it gets 2 people in. You get $100 in quail bucks. Again, special recognition and some other stuff with that, as well as a sponsorship-only gun.
Okay,
which,
sure.
if I'm correct, is a Remington 700 SBS 306 Winchester. So, and then we did have to increase. Unfortunately, inflation has hit everyone, and we are we didn't escape it either. So we did have to increase. It is $70 per person, or $85 a couple this year. And that is up until January 14th. After the 14th, it goes up to $100 a couple.
So act now.
Act now, absolutely. By the 14th, if you want to save yourself some money, get it in by the 14th. You can message us at our Facebook page, Route 36 Quail Forever, or email us, route36qf@gmail.com.
And what is this, your membership, if you are a platinum or the special, can you still do bid on things and everything?
Absolutely. Even if you just pay for the normal, you still get an auction number. You can bid on things. Okay. The biggest thing is you won't get the extra quail bucks added in, and you won't be able to put in for those guns, those 2 guns.
So we have a raffle. That's always big.
We have several raffles. So we have a thrower package raffle. We got a really nice blue rock thrower. We'll throw some blue rock in it and probably some ammo with it. There's so many. There are raffle baskets were a bigger hit this past year. So the raffle baskets are a little different. We'll just have a table set out with a bunch of different themed baskets. Like we had a gardening basket last year. We had like a movie night or a game basket. So you just come up, you buy the tickets, and if you spent $50 or more on those tickets, you get entered into a gun for that. Which that will come back this year. And then from there, there was a bucket in front of the basket. You wanted to go for the movie basket?
Sure.
There you go. Throw it in the bucket. Okay. So.
And do you have any silent auctions? Do you have silent auctions?
No, we don't like to do silent auctions, but we feel we have a lot more fun just doing a live auction.
A silent auction, they can be fun sometimes, but if you want something, you have to keep an eye on it because someone else wants it too, and you have to keep going back and doing it, right? So
I agree.
It's a contest there.
So then we have our Gun of the Year raffle, which is the only gun of the night that you need not be present to win. You can just get Gun of the Year tickets for myself, Max Dibble, Ryan Gramman, Paul Gramman. They're here in Phillips County, so you can get any tickets from them. Or again, you can just message us on Facebook or our email.
Now what's the Facebook address? How do you go?
Route 36 Quail Forever. Just search that and you'll be able to find us.
Can you buy your tickets on there too, or do you have to buy your tickets ahead of time and for your different things?
For the banquet, we actually do have a link that you can go to. It is with the Pheasant Forever, Quail Forever website. You can go through, and if you buy it all there, then it just comes back to me.
Okay.
And then I'll have everything set up from there. You can buy tickets at the door.
Sure.
As well.
But if you wait on the one, you have to pay a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, what else, Jacob?
Like I said, we have a lot of guns. We have 34 guns this year. We're giving
how many?
34.
Wow.
That was the last count we had. I think we had 31 last year. Wow. I don't know why we're so crazy, but we are.
Do you buy the gun? How do you get the gun?
So yeah, we search around for deals. We get on a lot of deals. Jeff Charbonneau at Gene's Heartland Foods, who's going to be doing our barbecue meal. He always does barbecue.
Okay,
great barbecue.
Something else I was going to ask about food. Yeah.
Yep. Gene's has their own side store, which is the sporting goods side, and they always find us some good deals, and we look around, and as well as through nationals, they sometimes have some pretty good deals. We just find them. I don't want to say. That's about all I can tell.
Are they mostly shotgun? Are they all shotgun? Do you have rifles?
We got shotguns. We have rifles. We have pistols. We have a good mixture.
Wow. Okay. And different gauges of the.
Yes, sir. We have anywhere from 17 HMR this year to 12 gauge. We have some 308s.
Wow.
Yeah. We have all 9 millimeters, 380s.
I think I've got a 12, a 16, and a 20. They go way back. That's all you had. And I think you had an 8 gauge or a 10 gauge at one time.
Yeah. You can probably still find them somewhere. They're probably getting a little harder to find.
I know. I knew someone had one every time he lost his shoulder. Every time
you got to be careful with that.
All right. Well, sounds like someone out there wants to get the tickets now. What do they do? Right?
So, like it said, Facebook page. You can message us. Route 36 Squall Forever. You can go to Max Dibble. He's up at Phillipsburg Liquor and Wine, or Wine and Liquor. I can't remember.
Southwest corner of the square.
Correct.
Go in and
yes.
He can give the tickets right then, and you can buy them.
He will have paperwork right
Paperwork.
there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I can email that to you. Like I said, Route 36 Squall Forever.
Sure.
You can also call me directly.
Okay. What's your phone number?
319-530-6064.
Okay.
Or you can call Max at 785-543-7544.
Okay, what was your number again?
319-530-6064.
Okay. Mentioned that several times. Like you mentioned about 9 times on TV.
Yeah.
So let's get the date again. Is the 28th. It starts the social hour 4:30, which is fun. You can kind of see what's going on. You can taste the joint.
Exactly.
The social hour.
And as soon as you get there, you just start playing the raffles. You can get in our beer mug raffle, the 10-gun table raffle. I mean, you just have at it. Just start at it. We'll have all our auction items up, which we greatly reduced the amount of auction items, but we greatly increased the level.
Who's the auctioneer for that?
Cody Miller over there at 4C. We're here in Phillipsburg, so we might as well use Phillipsburg business.
He has a good time.
Yep, I actually talked to him yesterday. He's really looking forward to it. Big thanks to Cody over there at 4C Land and Auction. One big thing, we do realize not everyone that comes is a big hunter, and that's fine, so we try to incorporate some more stuff. This year, don't ask me how, but somehow we were able to get a hold of some Chiefs memorabilia. Signed Chiefs memorabilia with certificate of authenticities. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The big one being a signed Patrick Mahomes jersey.
Wow. Okay.
So we have that up for grabs at the auction. We'll have a couple Travis Kelce. One, I think one's a football, one's a
I think I've heard that name.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got some local favorite, Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
We have a Jordy Nelson signed 8x10. Yeah. It sounds weird, but we got a hold of a Tyreek Hill signed jersey, Chiefs jersey. Wow. Apparently, people still love Tyreek, even though he's with the Dolphins now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, the number again.
319-530-6064. It's a little bit different for around here.
Anything else you want to share this morning?
No, come on out. We had a great time last year. Our tables loved it. Everyone said it was good.
It's just good fellowship.
It's great time. People get to talking, and it's just awesome.
I've had a chance to be. I don't know if I did. I think I was Quails one time. I've been at the Platinum Sponsorship with the Turkeys. I think one year I was in the raffle and I won a nice folding chair you can take to things. So it's a good opportunity to see a lot of people and talk about what everyone likes, hunting.
Hunting and just just
probably
general
talk
stuff.
about the Chiefs maybe a little
Oh,
bit.
probably a little bit.
Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm sure that rivalry will be around.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jay, for coming.
Thank you very
on.
much.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back. Danielle is here, so we'll talk with Danielle. I think we're going to talk about the dock walk. Is that right? Okay, so we'll come back and discuss things with Danielle after we take his time out.
In our area, ranching and farming are more than just jobs. They represent family traditions and a way of life. They are an essential part of our community. At First National Bank and Trust, community is what matters most. From agriculture to education, we support those who make our community one to be proud of and a place to call home. First National Bank and Trust, where community matters most.
We're here for you.
Farmers and Ranchers Outlet is a locally owned and operated business in Phillipsburg, Kansas. As farmers and ranchers ourselves, we continually put our products to the test. We provide a variety of products including roping supplies, horse tack, mineral blocks and feed, healthcare items for your animals, and of course, we have all the apparel you need to get the job done and look good while you're doing it. Stop by our store on Highway 183 or shop with us online at farmersranchersoutlet.com.
The experienced and professional team at Coombs Trucking takes pride in providing the most efficient and reliable service to our customers. From hauling to towing, our fleet of quality trucks and drivers continue to deliver safely and on time. Our team is also proud to support your team. We're here for our Little Leaguers, area high school teams, and more. Coombs Trucking enjoys giving back to the community that has been so important to us for over 50 years.
We all make bad choices. Your insurance carrier doesn't have to be one of them. Make a choice you won't regret. The foremost choice.
Are you wrestling with your financial situation? Let First National Bank and Trust help you take down the stress that comes with managing your money. First National Bank and Trust is here for our area athletes, here for our farmers, here for our business owners, here for our families, and
We're here for you.
And back on the Tadpoll this morning, we're going to talk about something going on. Phillips County Health System. Danielle Bohl's with us. Danielle, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And one of the summertime, it started out thinking initially in the summertime when they could walk around the track. Doctors walk. What's the official doctors who walk? Or
walk with the doc.
Okay,
yes.
walk with the doc. Yeah. Okay. How's that going in the wintertime?
It's going well. We've changed our location. We're now at the community building located on the northeast side of the square. We host it the third Monday of every month at 5:30. We've increased the time or bumped the time up since it gets dark sooner.
Sure.
And we're trying to keep everybody warm by keeping them inside. So this month we'll have Kai Englert, who is a physician assistant that provides emergency medicine and urgent care services to Phillips County Hospital. Kai specializes in emergency medicine. He specializes in orthopedic and sports medicine. And he's going to be talking about diet, nutrition, exercise, all of those things that are usually at the top of everybody's New Year's resolution.
A good time to do that, right?
That's right, yes, yeah. So this is a great time to come out and meet Kai. You get one-on-one time with him. You can ask him personal questions, kind of get to know him. Hopefully most of the people in our community have not had the opportunity to work with him since he covers mostly the emergency room. But they can get to know him and know a provider so that if they have to utilize emergency services or urgent care,
Do you walk around the? Do you need to walk around? So
yes,
you keep with the name, walk with the dog. You know.
Yep. So it starts with about a 5 to 8 minute little presentation on the relevant topic that the provider chooses, and then the provider will walk with all of the attendees, and you get a chance to visit with him. And
that's when you visit with him as you're walking.
Yes. Yep. Get to know him. Get some exercise under your belt.
So all you do is show up.
All you do is show up. And then walk.
Okay.
And you don't have to walk. We've had attendees who just like to come and listen to the topic and and then meet the providers and take off, and that's okay too.
Someone could push me in a wheelchair.
Sure. Yes.
Or the walker, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Walker would do me more good than
Yes,
pushing
it
the
would.
wheelchair.
Yes.
The walker,
Would do you more good.
Okay, so what are the people usually talk about? You know, just questions. Maybe they want to know something about what could be done to improve their life.
Yes. So, unfortunately, we can't answer specific personal medical questions. But if it's a general health topic or a general question, by all means, the provider can address that.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
So. How many have been showing up?
We have anywhere from about 5 people to usually 17 to 20.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. It's always posted live on our Facebook page for the hospital, and we have usually around 700 to 800 views. So I know the information's getting out there.
So you get the information out there.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you find out that the summertime may be more popular than the winter because you're outside?
Definitely.
It just makes more sense, you know.
Yeah.
Walk around the track.
Yes.
Okay, so what else is going on at physical therapy?
Well, let me see. We have a new staff member, Delilah Geringer. She recently graduated from PTA program at Colby, and she will be taking her board. So we're excited to welcome her. We've been fairly busy at the hospital recently with skilled swing beds, so it's kept everybody on their toes.
Maybe I should have Tara here to talk about the COVID situation, but how has that impacted physical therapy?
Sure, that's a great question. There's some really good studies that have come out recently. They've actually looked at reoccurrence of COVID. They find that if you have a reinfection of COVID, that actually increases your risk of hospitalization by 3 times.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Another thing that a lot of people that maybe have had COVID and recovered from is long COVID, and they've grouped that into 4 different categories for long COVID, and physical therapy is one of the interventions that can help treat and improve symptoms of long COVID.
Okay. Should not wear masks?
We are still wearing masks.
Okay, all right. I know how that goes. Either because they already have to mask the situation, and I've had all my shots and everything. So my granddaughter and her husband had it right before Christmas, and I didn't know we were going to get to see them or not, but they made it through all right, and
good.
She still had a little bit of a cough and everything, but you know what, all the symptoms can be a little different. You know?
Yes, well, and there's a lot of upper respiratory illnesses that are going around right now, so it's not just COVID, it's influenza A, influenza B, and RSV. We're seeing a little bit of everything, so.
Well, I hear so many good reports, and I've used it too. The physical therapy, it's a great facility to have here. And I'm not mentioning it because I'm on the board, but they do a good job, you know. I mean, you do a good job there.
We do.
There's a real interest, and you want to know how we're doing and everything. That's okay. Anything else, Danielle? You want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay, now when is it?
January 16th at 5:30 at the community building.
Just northeast corner. We're just come in up the main entrance or the side entrance.
Either entrance, whichever is easier.
Okay. And just, if you have a question, just see what's going on.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good. Danielle, thank you so much. I'll be on again, and stay safe, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right. We're going to talk about the Liberty Bowl and the Sugar Bowl after we take this break with Tam Kemper.
At Phillips County Health Systems, patient-centered excellence is more than a goal. It's a mission. And that's why we continue to be one of the top critical access hospitals in the country. We care for members of our community through all stages of life, providing quality health care, innovative rehabilitation therapies, and convenient access to specialists. It's the kind of care our patients should expect, the kind of care you deserve, the kind of care provided at Phillips County Health Systems.
Prairie Horizon Agri-Energy is now Amber Wave. We are transforming our existing facility in Phillipsburg to turn 20 million bushels of wheat into domestically produced wheat protein for use in the food and feed-related industries. This investment in the community will come together in the summer of 2023 and is expected to add 50 new jobs to the local community. Learn more at amberwaveusa.com. Amber Wave. Vital, reliable, sustainable.
The American dream has changed over the years, but Farmers National Bank has not. This is Jean Ann Wagner. Farmers National Bank has been backing the American dream for over 100 years. Tell us what you'd like to accomplish, and we'll work with you to achieve it. As we celebrate 100 years, it's never been about us. It's always been about our customers and their successes. That's the American dream. We're Farmers National Bank in Phillipsburg, Agra, Logan, Kensington, Stockton, and Atwood, member FDIC.
Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance in Phillipsburg wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Shop hometown, locally owned Olive Bovey for the holidays. Find savings on Lazy Boy recliners, sofas and love seats, Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid appliances. And Forever Bedding, Justice, and Restonic Bedding, and bedroom furniture. Olive Bovey also offers one of the region's largest selection of floor covering. They thank you for making 2021 a great year. Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance, West Highway 36 in Phillipsburg.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
And back on the Tadpoll this morning, we're going to talk about things I like to talk about. That's sports, of course. And Tam Kemper is with us. And Tam, obviously, you in New Orleans.
Yep.
Did you notice that? Yeah. Did you notice that? How they said you say New Orleans down there, and people look at you kind of funny.
They go Nolans.
That's Nolans. And you were at the Sugar Bowl, and I was at the Liberty Bowl. And, we'll talk about that first. Let's talk a little bit about the Sugar Bowl. When did you and Mark decide to go? Were you going to go? Have you gone before a lot of the bowl games?
We decided we'd been to 8 bowls.
Okay.
And we really weren't going to go this year. And then, I don't know, in November, as the team was winning and things were looking better.
TCU.
And it was kind of like, let's go.
Okay.
And so I got online and ordered tickets. And Mark said, if we're going to spend for the better ticket, because we've been at the Cotton Bowl where you sat way up in the rafters.
I've been there, yeah.
And so we were on the 50-yard line, 5 rows up, and pretty level with the field. I'm not saying that's the best place to see the game, but it was great. We could see everything going on the sidelines.
How was the Superdome?
Great place. The seats were wonderful, and you had your cup holders, you had chairs, plenty of room. Whereas other stadiums, a lot of times you're very crowded and it's very steep looking down, but this was nice. The only thing was probably the concourse outside. I thought was pretty narrow for as many people that go.
Was it full? Was it a full house?
Pretty much. You could see spotted
Liberty Bowl at the
corners.
top. It wasn't full, but there were a lot of KU people there. A lot of Arkansas. Which I didn't know Arkansas were kind of looking down their nose that they're going to have to play KU. And, we should be playing a better bowl than this.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of Arkansas people there.
Yes.
And I'll have some
and they have that suey yell that just drives you nuts.
Yeah, that's not the only thing
we played them twice.
It's not the only thing they did. So I may address that a little bit
It's always fun.
Okay, so my son went. He lived in Houston. And where did you stay? Did you have a hotel or a motel, or how did you?
In New Orleans?
No.
Or just all the way? Well, it was our 48th anniversary on the 28th. So we left on the 27th, and then we stayed near Pawhuska, Oklahoma, where the Pioneer Woman, a lot of women love to go there.
Wow.
And we had a huge breakfast. It is worth it. And great biscuits, and we bought a cinnamon roll to take with us on the road.
Wow.
And then we stayed in Shreveport, Louisiana. And all along the way, wherever we stopped, there was K-State people, just purple everywhere.
There was a lot of purple.
Then we drove into New Orleans. Before, as we drove in, we'd been told to stop at Middendorf's, and it was thin catfish and a whole plate full of that. So we stopped there and had that, and then drove
you did a good
in.
tourist thing.
We had a great time, And people tell you things as you travel, where to stop. So we took advantage of it. Now that we'd can take our time.
Yeah, sure.
So it
So
was great.
in New Orleans, where'd you stay?
We stayed just right near the Superdome. We were in a Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And I think next time, if we would get to go again, I would stay closer to Canal Street, because once we parked our car, we said we'll walk everywhere. And there's a lot of walking, but we're lucky we could still do all that. But we walked everywhere.
Did you go to the parade?
We did not make that. It was pouring rain on Friday morning. And we waited. I'd planned we'd walk down to a place called Mother's, which was mentioned to us, and all-day breakfast and gumbo, jambalaya, all that.
Done that, yeah.
And we'd walk there and then walk to the parade, and then you had to walk back to the pep rally. And so from Mother's, we decided let's just walk directly to the Alumni Motel, and it was near the pep rally. And so we just kind of stayed put because we were wet and we were trying. And plus there, and this is what I love about bowl trips, is you always meet people. And we joined a young couple, and it happened to be a former football player for K-State and went on to play in the NFL. And his name was Thomas Randolph.
Oh, okay,
and he had played, I did not know. Mark was so excited. And he played 89 through 93, went to the Copper Bowl, one of our first bowls we won, I guess, and told Mark, and then Josh Van Lays and his new bride were there on their honeymoon, and they joined us. And so they talked all the experiences of the NFL, and then what K-State football was like under Snyder back in the early days, and it was very interesting. One thing I might point out is Coach Snyder always, definitely wanted everybody to, academics was very important to him. He stressed that. And Thomas said that they had to be in class every day. And they would post somebody at the door of the classrooms. And when they walked in, they'd check their name off. And he said, if you didn't show up, you paid for it.
I had the opportunity to sit one time with Snyder. His daughter was in with my daughter riding horses.
Yes.
And they had a horse show, and he would come to those. I'd go up and sit with him.
He's very easy to talk to.
Yeah, very easy to talk to, and not always about football. Anything you want to talk about.
He wanted to know more about you whenever we've talked to him.
It's great. And,
yes.
And at the bowl game they had several years ago in Houston.
Yes.
My granddaughter and her grandmother came up and sat with us at the ball game, and Brittany was the daughter. She came up and sat with us for a while. She was at the ball, of course. She was at the K-State game there. So I saw several Cotton Bowl games, and we were way up. So you had good seats. We had handicapped at the Liberty Bowl, which they're pretty good. We were in the end zone, but we were right above. We weren't 15 or 20 feet away from where the action was at the south end there at the end when KU tried to make the two and didn't, but that was a big comeback from there.
We were watching it in Shreveport. And everybody was riding off KU, and I said, oh no, they always come back in the second half, and sure enough.
Well, it was a great ball game.
Yes.
Okay, so I know did you go to the pep rally? Did you make it? Okay, now wasn't that over 10,000?
It was over 10,000 people. I'm surprised they found it was a convention center to hold that many people. And they said I know at one point before it started, Wyatt Thompson, our announcer, he said, we're waiting to get more people in. And so it started a little late. And they had chairs set up, but a lot of standing. And it's just remarkable how K-State travels well. I think they've estimated 35,000, 40,000 people. And they came from all over the United States, which I expect just Kansas. But we met people, LA flew in, Washington, D.C., Georgia, of course, Missouri, Oklahoma.
Did they have any trouble flying in because of all the...
Some, and they just ended up getting a car and driving down. A lot of Kansas City, people that were flying out of Kansas City, just drove. They weren't going to miss it.
That's for sure. And my granddaughter and her husband, they had trouble. They were going to fly out of New Orleans over to to Austin, Texas, and they had to rent a car and back and forth and everything. They flew in at 4 in the morning, you know. They had to rent, it was a terrible thing.
Yes, it was.
Okay, but back to anything else? Did you have a chance to go down on Bourbon Street or anything?
Oh, yes. I was afraid you'd ask that. The very first night we got in, we have seatmates at the K-State ball games, and we met. They had texted us, said they were on Bourbon Street, had a table, so we met them there.
Okay.
And the man in Shreveport had told me to try a hurricane, so we did. And anyways, Mark ordered one, I ordered one. I drank mine pretty fast, and he had it, so I drank his too. It's crazy down there. But I've been there in the summertime before, and not much.
Yeah, I've been there in the summertime.
I think it was Holiday and Sugar Bowl, and it was so crowded and loud, and music, and it was more rock band music is what I noticed. And was walking by one bar, saw a lot of K-State people, went in there, and they were having a great time. And there was a gal on stage singing, and everybody's dancing, and I joined some younger women dancing, and pretty soon I was on stage. She had me come on stage, so that was my point on Bourbon Street. I was a dancing queen. I was dancing to Dancing Queen on stage.
Well, my son said there were crazy people down there in costumes and stuff. He said it was the craziest thing he'd ever seen.
I think they're to be statues or something. They're painted gold
and then just give them
some
money,
are silver.
right?
And then they do nothing. One guy made finger gestures, and you were to tip him.
They do that in Times Square too. They have the Statue of Liberty and all that kind of thing.
Yes, and then there were a lot of young kids playing buckets, drumming. And so that was really loud, but people would donate to them. There was just a young family or young kids on snare drums and bass drums, and they would do little formations and pop-up bands. And
my wife and son were there one summer, and we were going, and we went by this one place. I heard some Dixieland music. I said, let's go in there. So we went in. Well, we sat down. Well, you had to order something. Well, I don't drink, but I had to order something, so I ordered mint julep. And just one sip was all I could take of that. And I gave it to my son, I think, nursed the rest of it. I ordered a 7-Up, but you had to keep ordering to enjoy the music. You know. They want you.
Oh, they want you in there.
I understand that that they pay.
And they're standing at the doors trying to get you to come in and sing. Wanting you to come into their bar, but everything's so crowded.
Did you make it down on where the cathedral is, and where you get the beignets?
Yeah, we had beignets, but not down in French Quarter. But we'd been there before and done all the touristy sites, and when we go to bowl games, it's all about football.
Sure.
But we did, on Sunday morning, I saw a jazz mass scheduled, and of course we walked, and it was called Our Lady of Guadalupe. No, it was Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. And it was wonderful. Wow. What a way to start a new year.
Sure,
and you are
jazz music?
And the choir director was a piano player too.
Wow.
And then he had about 4 or 5 singers, a trumpeter, a drummer. And anyways, when he started singing, you are a Broadway lover like I am, music. And if you've been to Showboat, and heard the guy off stage start Old Man River. This was the voice he had.
A real deep voice.
And baritone, and just and very talented. And they sang the whole mass, and they did Christmas carols, but it was with the jazz feel. And then they ended when the priest went out with "Oh, When the Saints," and so we got our jazz fix right there.
Over the summer, there were several funerals went by, and that's of course.
Yeah.
A little bit, I'll talk more with you about what you did at Liberty Bowl. We went up the day before, did all the things you do in Memphis. We went to the motel where Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Yes.
And that was. A lot of people were there. We saw the big pyramid. We went to the Sun Studios.
Yes, I love that place.
Yeah, where Elvis
Yes.
recorded his first song. Of course, they had to drive down by where Elvis had his house and everything.
Yes,
and all
Graceland.
That is a real
Yeah.
tourist
Yes.
place. I mean, they really
Yeah.
like the tourists there.
Yeah. Yes.
Of course, we went to Beale Street.
Yes.
We saw some people from Phillipsburg who were down for the game. Junimans were there, so I saw them at the one place at the Bay, was it the Bay City Blues? Anyway, there. And then the next day we went to the Rendezvous, which they barbecued the meat out in front on the street, and then the bar and the restaurant was downstairs. You would not think of it as being a place to go to, but it was. They have so many good.
Their barbecue is delicious.
Yeah, if you've been to Memphis,
Oh, yes.
obviously you have been.
Yes.
So you did all the things.
Yeah.
Have you been to Mud Island?
No, I don't think so.
They've had some trouble. Mud Island has a complete map of the Mississippi River that was running, and you can walk the whole thing on the Mud Island. They have Memphis Belle, which is a World War II B-17 airplane there. They used to have it in the museum, I don't know. But we did all the tourist things there too, and then we went out early to the Liberty Bowl, and we were right there during with South End, and in our we were on the goal line, but we're down low.
Yeah.
We can see everything.
What you can see, yeah. And
I shared something to myself. Actually, you know more of what's going on if you're at home sitting in your chair.
oh yeah, with a commentation going on. Yes.
You know what's going, because we didn't know what was happening in the North End,
Right.
at all. But
Right.
if you're at home, and we talked about that, because but there's nothing like being there. You have to be there.
Yeah, it's the festivity. I mean, just and the crowd,
Yeah.
and everybody's in a good mood until you're losing. but even at that, I think K-State went into this bowl knowing it was going to be a tough battle.
Well, my son said Alabama physically was maybe a little better.
And somebody made the comment, would not have thought there'd be such a difference between 5-star players, and we get 3-star, mostly. And the speed. I said the wide receivers were downfield catching the pass before we even knew the ball was snapped.
Yeah,
it was just that quick.
Tough game to watch. It
Yes.
was tough for him too. But
Yes.
he did text me. K-State basketball won there, so that day, so he was felt a lot better.
Oh yeah, that was
about
the
that.
positive thing.
Yeah. And Jared Casey from Plainville.
Yes.
Caught a touchdown pass and everything. We enjoyed that, and it was funny when we went in. I had the handicap sticker, and they directed us in, and no one hit us up for any. Usually they get $30, $40, $50 a park,
Oh really? You didn't pay for parking?
No one asked us to pay anything. I don't know
Wow.
whether it was because we're handicapped or what. But,
Yeah.
But we were close to. We went in and did the whole thing, I looked for souvenirs.
Yes.
And they did not have any souvenirs. The only thing they had were shirts.
Yeah.
My grandson said he wasn't going to buy one until if KU won, he would buy one, but he wasn't going to buy one and have to wear it if they lost.
Right.
So that's what he
Right.
said.
I think that's all I saw being sold were mostly shirts.
Yeah, but I thought I told some people I'll bring you back some memories, but they didn't have anything except the shirts,
Yeah, but K-State handed out buttons at the pep rally and posters, of course, and then from the parade, people got beads.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
so somebody
My
gave
son
me
got
some
beads,
beads.
he got beads, had to get the beads.
Yeah.
But he said that crowd on Bourbon Street he'd never seen anything like that.
It was, and you'd see people pushing baby strollers or kids on their shoulders. I'm thinking, I don't know that this is a place for that, but you have to go there.
Sure.
That if you're going to be there, you have to go there.
Yeah.
And we were there the next morning, New Year's Day, when we left church. We walked back down and nothing. Trash. A lot of trash.
A lot of trash on there.
But yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Did you still have on the second floor apartments, did they have a lot of Christmas decorations up there and everything?
Well, there are Christmas decorations everywhere, but the plants. Of course, I love gardening type things, but just those old French Quarter homes.
Sure,
And
yeah.
black railings, and then they'd have plants hanging out. And New Orleans is a beautiful city. Get away from Bourbon Street.
Sure, yeah.
It really is.
We took a
beautiful
tour
city.
around. We were
Yes.
there, took on the bus, went around
Yes.
and saw some of the
Yes.
Montebello homes.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of nice tours. The city, we always love to do a city tour if you're in a big city, because that's how you learn about the place.
Of course.
The cemeteries.
Yeah, I was just going
are
to say, we had to
interesting.
tour the cemetery.
Yes, very interesting.
And everything's above ground because of water level, I guess.
Right.
And I guess some of those, well, I'm not getting into what.
I know.
how many people are in each one of those things?
Yes.
They just say they just shove them back and put the next person in.
Right, and
Wow.
then the heat, I mean, the natural elements take care
Sure,
of
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Instead of cremating, that's how
Sure,
they
yeah.
handle everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very interesting, and how they got the musicians to come back after Katrina, because a
yeah.
lot of them
Oh,
left,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so they built all these small homes, kind of call it Music Row,
Sure, yeah.
and promised them certain things to get the musicians to come back. So interesting.
Where we sat, we were for some reason we had our handicap in front of the Arkansas group. I don't know how to say this. They were kind of rude.
Yeah.
Not kind of. They were very. And in fact, a gentleman from Arkansas sat next to my son, and he apologized for the way they were
For their
acting.
crowd.
I mean, they booed
Yeah.
the band when they were marching at halftime. They booed them, the cheerleaders. They booed everything that KU did.
Oh, goodness.
But
And
the PA man was pretty even. And I heard that the PA man in New Orleans wasn't bad. He was more Alabama. That's what I heard.
well, and like I said, you know, second half it was all Alabama, and so, but you know, when I listened yesterday when it was replaying on TV, I really felt like they did a nice job of complimenting some of our players, and even our coach and what he was building, and that what Snyder had built, and so I guess I didn't feel like I wanted to shut him off or anything.
We stayed in West Memphis and drove in
Yes.
each day, and that worked out well.
Yeah.
We decided late to go, so that's why we couldn't find anything. And we stayed there, and well, we did have. I had some ribs, and they really were good.
Yes.
And I heard the music.
Yes, and that's fun. And
Saw a lot of Kansas tags coming home. We came back through Arkansas, and that was an experience also. I see where the Beverly Hillbillies came from. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
the
basically
kind of,
that
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be bad on Arkansas today,
No.
but
And the part of Arkansas we were in was beautiful.
yeah,
'cause
well,
we
it's
stayed-
I'm not
yes.
saying there are mountains
Yeah.
and everything. You know.
And their ground was saturated. I wished we could have brought some of that home because it was wet.
One other thing, before we run out of time, you mentioned you went to Vicksburg going down or
Yes.
coming back?
Coming back.
Okay.
We stopped in Vicksburg with the intention of the next morning we were going to go out to the battleground. Mark is a Civil War buff, and so I said, you need to hire a guide and take, because it's about 20 miles, and that's not all the park.
Right.
But we had a great professor from whatever their college is there in Vicksburg, a retired professor, and he was great. And it was about a 2-hour trip.
Professors do that because we had a professor when we went to Gettysburg with the kids, you know, with the students.
Right.
They always come on the bus with us.
A lot of times you have teachers, or that'll be their summer job.
Yeah.
And giving tour, and they do a great
Yeah,
job.
they sure do.
You learn so much.
I mean, Vicksburg had this nice big building there too, and we had a tour of that and everything. So
The terrain they had to fight on.
Oh, yeah.
We were just, oh my good, the hills, the
Yeah,
bluffs, and digging trenches. And they said they'd fight by day, dig trenches at night. That was what was going to save them.
Sure, yeah.
And we thought, how'd they get men to do that? I don't know. And it was mud. It was muck that they were driving.
Did you have anything else we haven't mentioned there you wanted to mention?
Not really, other than you know, I know you like the food, and so we didn't get to try a lot of things, but we did the catfish. The
Blackened cat? Did you have the blackened?
Ours was deep fat, very thin, but no grease. It was delicious. And then the grits.
Yeah.
I'd never had grits before.
I didn't order grits.
They came with our breakfast.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought they'd come in a bowl. And kind of like
fried. Were they fried grits?
No.
Right.
And so I saw some Equal or little packets of Splenda, and I added that to it, and they were good, very good. Well, I mentioned it to our waitress when I was getting ready to leave, and I said, do you ever put milk and sugar, you know, because like I say, I thought it'd come in a bowl, and she said, oh no, honey, that's north. I said, you're in the south, and they had salt, pepper, garlic.
Oh, okay.
And then she said the best are the cheesy grits. And so, but anyways, but it was good.
Did you have a chance to drive anyway on the Mississippi Road that goes along there? Have a chance? Have you ever done that?
No, we were going to, but we decided like I say, it was kind of rainy and things, and we decided to do interstate up to this.
I was going to do that one time, all the way from Iowa, all the way to New Orleans. They have the River Road. They call it the River Road.
Cruise
down
there too would be interesting.
Yeah, the river.
Might be a little slow
Call it River
paced
Road.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. One last thing.
Yes.
Do you still sing the Star Spangled Banner?
Oh well, no, not very often at all.
You know, first time I heard you sing the Star, I said, man. I mean, you belted out. You know that.
Well, I used to. Yes.
You know, how many times do you think you sang that? Do you ever keep track of it? Yeah.
No, I did not. But you know, I got to where I carried a card with the words on it in my purse because I kept books for our girls when they were playing basketball and things. And I think 2 or 3 times something happened to their PA system or the singer didn't show up or something, and so I just bawled. And that's what happened at Phillipsburg that night. There was a miscommunication, so I just said, I'll sing it.
I heard you sing it a lot of times, and when I saw it, I knew we were going to have a. And I like the way you sing. I don't like the way some of these people are singing now. Yeah, they add all. I don't like that. You just sing it. And at the Liberty Bowl, they sang it right. This gal sang it right, you know.
We had that too.
Okay.
Yes.
They try to put all that extra stuff on it. Yeah, let's get over it. Well, I'm sorry. Sorry you don't do it anymore, but...
Not much
okay.
anymore. I tell you, there's so much talent in Logan. I don't need to be front stage or anything anymore. So.
All right. Well, thanks for anything else you want to share. Just had a good time.
And I think if anybody has the opportunity to go to a bowl game, even if you're not a football fan, it's just exciting.
The experience there of going and getting in and seeing the people and
the culture of the area that you're in, and everybody's in a good mood.
I don't know how many people I talk to trying to find to come on and talk about KU. The KU game, and so I said, well, I would just do it, you know. And I said, your name is mentioned to me by several people, so that's how. That's how. Okay, well, anything else this morning?
I think that's all. I'm still catching up, and like I say, I'm gonna. I have this on, but we're gonna head to the Fort Hays game after this, so I'll go home and switch to Fort Hays.
Fort Hays plays. They play tonight.
Yes, 2 games, 5:30 and 7:30. They always play girls and boys. And we started going during COVID years when everything was locked down, and we could get in down there, and we ended up getting season tickets because we really enjoy anybody around here just likes sports, and they're local kids, a lot of Kansas kids, and they're 2 good teams this year.
Oh, right now, they're good. We'll get a win for the Tigers, you know. I'm a you're a graduate of Fort Hays? I think a little later than me. I was 55. You don't have to tell me when you graduate. You don't have to tell me you graduate.
20 years
and the encore. You're in the encore this year.
Yes,
I missed the earlier.
A couple, and we'll miss a couple of them.
Yeah, okay. Well, I always see you there.
That's interesting too. I mean, it's good to just take advantage of what we do.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to do it. That is nice. So, we'll have another show next week, and I appreciate last week getting the athletes back here and everything. Jeremy, it was a good program. I watched it actually in the car coming back from Memphis. I can actually watch it on my phone. Okay, everyone have a happy New Year out there. We'll see you next Thursday morning on the Tadpoll.